Hey there. So here is my review on Weapons. Recently, as you saw in the previous footage, I did see the movie, and yeah, so here are my thoughts. Weapons, it's definitely um, it's a mix of horror. It's a mix of like a mystery thriller, and there's a little bit of even like sci-fi thrown in there as well. And it's definitely like a different kind of film, even just the way it's formatted. um, so basically the premise is, the movie starts where a bunch of kids, basically in the middle of the night, they end up all leaving home simultaneously, and they disappear and never to be seen again. And they were all kids in this one teacher's class. Justine Candy is her name, and all of the kids from her class disappeared, all except one kid. And throughout the beginning of the movie, we see Justine. She's obviously very distraught over what happened to her young students, because these kids are like, I think they're like fifth grade or something like that. So, but like very young, kind of elementary elementary school students, and she obviously is very distraught over it. Plus, she's facing a lot of scrutiny from those in town. And so it is interesting, following Justine, and just really kind of following her, and just trying to, as she tries to piece together what happened, including talking to the one kid that was left behind, that didn't end up leaving in the middle of the night. So we see, and we also see, some of Justine's personality flaws, some areas where, it some people might find it a little understandable to, scrutinize her, like with some parts of her lifestyle, like she drinks a lot. And there's some people that don't think that she should be teaching kids, period. But I do think, like, she's overall, like, she means well. She just has a lot of burdens on her. So we get to follow her for the first part of the film. And the thing about Weapons, though, like, it's not just one of those, you're seeing the world, you're seeing the lens from the point of view of one character. So now at first it does kind of seem like that. It seems like they kind of set it up to where, okay, you think you're just going to be going along with Justine, and she's, you're going to be, going along with her and finding what exactly happened to these kids, and it's going to be all about her. But one thing that they do in this film that I kind of find interesting, is the fact that they switch point of views. So somebody who was maybe a minor character or a supporting character in Justine's story, they actually end up getting their own, like, you then end up getting their point of view of the story. For instance, there's one particular gentleman who is, after the kids disappear, who is at, at the like a town hall meeting, like a school meeting, at, town hall school meeting at the school. And there's this, like, gentleman, he's kind of like yelling in the audience, we want answers, we want answers. And you don't think too much of it. It's like, okay, he's, maybe like an extra or something, not even a supporting role, like he was just like a speaking extra. But then he actually ends up being a main character in another segment of the film. So we get different points of views. And the thing, though, is, it's like, it's kind of brilliantly done in the way that with each point of view, each character that, kind of gets their own lead, their own lead story, um, we get to see, like, we get just a little bit closer to knowing and understanding what happened to the kids. and why they all left in the middle of the night. And now, and I know like some people like say if you're somebody who's looking for a movie where you just want to follow the lead character, that's all, you don't like, these jumping points of views, you probably won't like this film. Because it is a little bit jarring at first, because first you're invested in Justine, and then and then you're taken out of her story just when it's starting to get good. You're taken out of her story, and then you go to this other guy's story, and then just when you're getting invested, you're taken out, and then you go to somebody else's story who was at first presented as maybe a minor character in somebody else's story. So it's like I said, if that's not really your thing, you probably won't enjoy Weapons. You might find it a little jarring. Because I will say it was slightly jarring at first, when that was happening. But to me, like once I got over that initial like, oh, yeah, I was, just getting into this person's story. Once I got over that, which I did in like a couple seconds, I was able to get back and like reinvested into the story. And one other thing that I do like about Weapons is the atmosphere. They do such a phenomenal job of creating atmosphere in this film and creating that tension in this film. And I really, really liked it. Like I said, the only thing that was a slight negative for me was just the fact that, like I said, you would be getting into one person's story and then you'd be taken out of it and taken into another person's story. And like for the first couple of seconds that happened to me, it was a little jarring, but then I got over it, and then I was able to like get reinvested in the movie and everything. But they have a lot of creep factor. They, just the effects and, just makeup effects, and just like I said, the overall like atmosphere, like it's just, and the acting's really good on everybody's end. It all comes together to really, really make a great movie, in my opinion. And I would definitely recommend seeing it. I would recommend if putting it on your Halloween rotation list. And I enjoyed it. So, but I don't want to give away too many spoilers. I'm just going to say it's a really good film. It's very mysterious film. There's a lot of like high tension in it. It kind of satisfies the whole like creepiness, the creep aspect to it. And it's not like your typical horror film. Because there are also some science fiction elements in it too. So it's kind of like this cool little blend of like these different genres. And it's put together to, create this really good movie. And all of the characters too that kind of get their own storyline in the film, they're all like, the acting is amazing. And they, and you do get really invested in these character stories. I do recommend seeing it. And it definitely has an interesting twist at the end, which I'm not going to reveal here. The twist at the end, it's definitely like I said, very interesting. but overall I enjoyed the film. I do recommend putting it on your Halloween rotation. And if you saw the movie Weapons, what did you think? Did you like it, not like it? Were there parts of it that you enjoyed, but parts of it that you were like about? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And I will be doing my 31 days of Halloween in October. So I'm really excited about that. That's my Weapons review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. All right, take care. Bye.